We watch a movie, maybe so do you. Then we sum it up and call it out with a beverage or two. It's the Wine and Whiskey Horror Show.
Okay, the year was 2009. We open on Needy, played by Amanda Seyfried, in what is probably an extremely inaccurate representation of a psychiatric hospital. She's talking, hold on. I want to address my costume, which is not really what they wore in the movie, but like this is what I wore in 2009 when I was in high school. She's in the hospital, and you see like on her windowsill is a picture of this like adorable boy who looks like he's probably like 5 years younger than she is.
I'm gonna say 5 years old.
He looks like he's probably 15, but Amanda Seyfried looks like she's 20. He's clearly her boyfriend, and he's probably dead. She's talking about like how the shit hit the fan and stuff. She goes to lunch. Now, I'm a kicker. You're like, I think I know what that means. Someone comes up to her. It was an orderly, it was a nurse who was coming up and saying, I'm concerned about you because you only eat like Pop-Tarts for lunch or something. And she was like, I've seen some shit. I only eat Pop-Tarts now. She suggests that Needy eat something more nutritious than a Pop-Tart. And Needy like kicks her in the chest and she flies like 20 feet back. Because she kicks the nurse, they're like, this is what we do for healthcare, and they throw her in solitary.
Why would you do that?
That is what they did in psychiatric hospitals in 1880, and also probably like 1930. So she's sitting in her padded cell wearing like some moody eyeliner, and then they cut. You see, you like come up, camera comes up, and it's like end of a bed, like in a teen girl's room, and then you just get like between Jennifer's thighs.
Wow, coming up right between the legs.
Also, she has a huge poster of Fall Out Boy behind the headboard. And we were like, oh yeah. I had a huge poster of Johnny Depp from Crybaby with a big, it was just like a huge Johnny Depp face with a tear. That was enough for me. She's doing something in a book. We'll come back to that. And then we're like, and they make this loud noise, and there's Needy in the window in a hoodie.
Looking all crazy.
And they zoom in on her, and she's like, Jennifer wasn't always this way. And you're like, what way? Flashback, and they're showing kind of like the past of like them in high school. And it's like Jennifer cheerleading in her cheerleading uniform, and she like has a baton or something, and she looks all happy and fun and not scary. But like her cheerleading kilt is like here.
Is it a cheerleading kilt?
It's a kilt. Hashtag aughts. We discussed earlier that I think I had 3 fashion kilts in high school.
3.
I also had those little gloves that like just covered your hands. I think I still have them. I couldn't find them, but I did find this bracelet, which I wore almost every day for 4 years in high school. Also, Chip is Needy's boyfriend. They're hanging out. She's in her room, like, kind of making out with Chip, or maybe it's Chip's room. And she's like, oh, I gotta go. Jennifer, like, wants me to hang out with her. And he's like, doesn't Jennifer, like, kind of suck? And she's like, Jennifer's my best friend, Chip. And he's like, yeah, but she's kind of got, like, a hold on you. And she's like, no, Chip, we're just best friends. There's like some tension, like they kind of have this like couple-y thing going on, which I find very interesting. So Jennifer shows up and is like, Needy, let's go. And Needy is like, I don't know, man, I was gonna maybe hang with Chip. And she's like, Needy, cross you out. That comes back. Needy's like, okay, Chip, sorry. Chip is like, sigh, guess I'll go home and masturbate now, because like we're not gonna have sex. Jennifer's like, come see this cool show with this band called Low Shoulder. It's actually like a shitty dive bar. They walk in and Chris Pratt comes up and is like, I'm the police officer that you've slept with a few times. And then you like see Low Shoulder. It could not be more like Fall Out Boy, Brendan Flowers. Like it's just, that's where we're at.
They're really doing it.
They're like doing it hard, and Jennifer is into it. She calls him salty, which means sexy. Stop trying to make salty happen, Jennifer.
Good line.
Thanks, that one's going in. She goes up to them and Needy kind of follows and she's like, just wanted to introduce myself, like, I'm Jennifer. Oh, it's Adam Brody in eyeliner and he's like, well, I'm the lead singer. Sexy, sexy, flirt, flirt. And Jennifer's like, oh, sexy, sexy, flirt, flirt.
She's also acting so much dumber than she really
Right,
is. She's so smart.
That's a really good point, babe. Thanks. Well, we don't know if she's that smart, but she's not dumb. You kind of get a taste for her insecurity in that moment. Adam Brody / lead singer of Low Shoulder goes over to his band friends and is like, dude, she's the one. And you're like, the bass player is like, don't talk about it that way. Like, I have feelings, you know? And you're like, oh, they're like getting a girl for this guy to bone. Adam Brody is like, oh, well, you have feelings. He's like, I'm pretty sure she's a virgin. Like, a girl like that would never have fucked anyone. And you're like, a girl like what? And also, like, fuck you for objectifying her. And also, like, virginity is not a commodity. They're commodifying virginity, and the movie is critiquing it, which I like. Needy hears them and is like, that's my best friend, you dick. And he is like, I love a strong female friendship. And this female friendship starts out, like, strong, on the rocks, but strong. Then they start playing. Jennifer's like, really feeling it, and Needy's like kind of bored. Needy's like stare at the corner and sees an electrical fire start. The electrical fire starts and it just like shoots up the side of the stage, shoots across the roof, and then the whole bar burns down. Get up!
Don't huddle there. It's not gonna get better.
If we're ever trapped in a fire together, let's make a promise that we're not gonna just huddle on the floor. Needy and Jennifer are fine, which is great for the plot. Low Shoulder comes out and is like, wow, what a trip. Wanna get in our van? And Jennifer is like, I'm pretty sure she's been roofied. It actually gets really scary and she's been roofied, and Needy says, this is like every teen girl's worst nightmare. And they really like look it in the face, which I appreciate. We wanna go somewhere safe. After the fire, come get in our van, which is not a safe location for a 15-year-old girl. Needy is aware of this. Needy is like, we're not gonna fucking do that. And Jennifer is like, don't be such a killjoy, Needy, and goes and gets in the van. And there's this horrible, upsetting shot. And the van door slides closed and she just watches Jennifer disappear behind the van door. Needy goes home and calls Chip. Probably not the best person to call. Chip, something happened, Jennifer got in the van, and Chip is like, I'm sure she's fine. Fuck you, Chip. He's not a girl, so he doesn't get it. Then she hears a knock at the door. Chip, I hear a knock at the door. And he's like, well, that's probably fine. Call me if you need anything. So she's like, okay, cool, I'll just go answer this knock at my door. It's like 3 a.m. She answers the door. Nobody's there. Then she goes back upstairs. No. Then she hears a noise in her kitchen. Yikes! She goes into the kitchen, and there is Jennifer.
Hold up, though. She's alone, scared in her house. She puts down her phone, doesn't pick up any weapons to defend herself.
Right. There we go. What's she picking up?
No, she put down her phone.
What? She should pick something heavy up.
Or hit them with the phone.
Too small. Phones were like little flip phones back then. This is how phones worked. She goes in the kitchen, and there is Jennifer, covered in so much blood. Ooh. And Jennifer doesn't say anything. She just like continues to rummage around in Needy's fridge, and then is like, finds some meat and goes. Needy is like, this doesn't feel good. What happened to you in the van? Jennifer just walks right up to her, smiles, and her teeth are covered in blood. And she's terrifying. And then Jennifer barfs black sludge. Horror movie, buckets of vomit. Icker, yes. And Needy is like, oh my god. And then in the black stuff, it starts to go like this. Like spikes come up out of the black vomit. Okay, this is supernatural now.
Then she like chases her around the house and she talks to her and is like, are you scared?
I do remember this. Yeah. Needy understandably is like, this is scary. And runs out of the room. Jennifer grabs her in the hall, shoves her against the wall, and like kind of makes out with her neck a little bit. Jennifer is like, are you scared? And Needy's like, fuck yeah, I'm scared. Jennifer just leaves. Needy goes to school the next day, doesn't tell anyone. Great choice. Jennifer comes in and is like, what's up, Needy? And she looks super. Comes into science class and Needy is like, what the actual fuck, Jennifer? And Jennifer's like, what do you even mean? You came into my house last night covered in blood. And Jennifer's like, oh, Needy, you're so crazy. No, I remember because I scrubbed up all the black barf you barfed on the floor. The science teacher comes in and he has a hook for a hand.
They only have one class anyway.
They don't really learn stuff. Oh, they just talk about how sad they are because of the fire. So he comes in, sad speech, sad speech, fire, fire, fire. And everyone in the class is like, tears, tears, sad, sad. He's like, I've seen some shit. And this shit was even shittier. And then he like raises his hook hand and you're like, oh, he has seen some shit. So Jennifer's like, sexy, sexy, hair, hair. All the students are mourning their friends who died in the fire. And there's this one athlete who is sad. Practice is canceled. And he just like goes to be alone on the field and like think about his friend who like, maybe there was something there. Jennifer's like, hey there, stud.
Crying.
He's just crying and she's just talking to him. She's like, go in the woods with me and we'll make out. She rips off his shirt, she rips off her shirt, shirts are flying. And then she like shoves him against a tree and you're like, hot?
He's like 250 pounds and she's just like flicks him into a tree. Something all the woodland creatures are watching.
Oh my god, that never comes back, but you're
No.
right. She's like, that feels fine. And her jaw unhinges. Teeth, teeth, teeth. It's like a shark mouth, but inside Jennifer's mouth.
In her body.
And then she devours him. Meanwhile, Jennifer is like, la 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 la. I look great now that I've murdered someone. The most iconic scene from the film is Megan Fox in this like foggy ass lake.
It's a nice spin on the fact that she barely wears clothing after she becomes a demon. In terms of like doesn't wear, like she goes swimming naked, she's not wearing anything under her shirt. Like,
right,
that's
she
like
has
not just being her being sexy, she's her being like, I can do whatever
she
the fuck
has
I
no
want.
inhibitions and no fears of how she's gonna be perceived or taken advantage of.
Right.
A month goes by, right?
Yeah.
Okay. A month goes by. They're in science class, the only class they ever have. Jennifer is sitting at her desk with Needy, looking like shit. Doesn't go well with wine. But there's some light in the darkness, and then it's Low Shoulder, the band who in the interim has become the mascots for the town. They have a song called Through the Trees, which is a stupid name. You see people singing it at like a candlelight vigil. Through the trees. You know, Low Shoulder's coming, thank God. They're all gonna come sing. They're gonna come sing at prom. She and Needy are walking into the classroom, and Needy's like, are you okay? You look not great. And Jennifer is like, oh, no, like, I feel gross, and I look like a normal girl. Something that I don't like about this movie is how it pits the women in it against each other. They're out in the hall, and along comes Colin. Colin is who I would have been in love with in high school. Black nail polish, black fooply hair, just like a bunch of rings and some wristbands, combat boots.
Everything he's wearing must weigh like 30 pounds.
Oh my god, but it's so hot. It represents the weight of his soul. Comes along and is like, hey Needy, hey Jennifer. And you're like, oh no. We now know what Jennifer does to boys. Diablo Cody's kind of a badass. So any feminist critique that I make in this particular episode is with the full recognition that Diablo Cody has like done some significant shit for women in film. What was I gonna say? I totally forgot. This is like one of my absolute favorite horror movies because the two main characters are women. When was the last time that happened in a horror movie? Literally fucking never. There's a woman who's the villain.
As well as the hero, so it's not vilifying the woman.
Right, unlike The Witch. Why did everything go wrong? Ladies. Why did everything go wrong in this movie?
Men.
Okay, we gotta get to that part. Jennifer's like, you wanted to know if I would go out with you. He would never go out with Jennifer. He would go out with me. Colin is like, Jennifer, will you go out with me? And she's like, no way. Colin walks away. And Needy's like, well, I think Colin's really cool. Jennifer is like, oh, you think Colin is cool? Colin, come back here and we'll hang out later. And Colin's like, skip away. Yay, I did it. Cut forward to the night. Colin's like driving, listening to music. Feeling great. Gonna go sex up Jennifer. He goes to the address that she sent him, and it's like in a development that's being built. He goes inside, some spooky things happen. There's like plastic sheeting and insulation. It's not built yet. Spooky insulation.
Nope. Go
home, Colin. And it's like candles, everywhere candles. He's like, his face goes from like terrified to like into it. But you as a viewer are like not into it. And then she comes out of the shadows. This place is just for us. We're gonna play house. You be the daddy and I'll be the mommy. Jennifer's just kind of weird. Jennifer like doesn't know who she is. The real tragedy in the movie is a crisis of identity.
And the murder of a lot of people.
And so many people dying.
Right.
And then they make out.
She like pulls down his pants.
Maybe this will go fine. You know it won't, but like you kind of hope it will because it's kind of hot. Back at the ranch, Needy is like having a night of it with Chip. Chip has a condom. Should we do it? And both of them are like, I guess we should do it.
Hooray!
Chip and Needy getting the job done. Needy starts being like, because she has a vision of shit going down with Jennifer and Colin. Like she sees blood dripping through the ceiling, you're like, oh, yikes. Flashes. Jennifer's there, but she looks scary. Why? Dead football player. Oh my god.
Blood
in the
dripping through the
woods.
ceiling.
Colin, like bleeding above Colin is Jennifer. In the house, Colin is like eviscerated. Then what happens? It's a sparkling wine. Needy drives home and is like so scared. Flumps into bed. Behind her,
Who's there?
Snuggletown. It's Jennifer. Jennifer looks amazing. She like goes in for the smooch, and Needy is like, smooch? And Jennifer is like, smooch. And then they make out hard. It's a female friendship that borders on an attraction. Jennifer is like, let me tell you a little story. We're gonna find out what happened in the band. You see the scene in the band, lead singer of the Shoulder is like, she's a virgin. She's sure they're gonna rape her. So she says, I am a virgin. Find someone who actually knows what they're doing. And she's not. You know that she's not a virgin. This is so important. I can't believe I forgot to talk about this. The town is called Devil's Kettle. There's like a waterfall, and then it goes into a little whirlpool, and you can throw anything down the whirlpool, and it disappears for fucking ever. Low Shoulder takes her to the creepy waterfall. Throws her down on a rock. Her mouth is gagged. He starts reading from this like occult printout that he found on the internet. He's like, takes out the super sharp knife and is like, Jennifer, 8675309. And Jennifer's crying. And then they stab her to death. They throw the knife in Devil's Kettle.
Oh.
So Jennifer tells Needy this story. And Needy is like, oh my god, how are you alive? I wasn't a virgin, so it didn't work, and I've literally never felt better. That's not right. Jennifer, you're a monster. Needy, you're so crazy. You tell the craziest stories.
This was Jennifer's kind of moment of vulnerability, whereas like him opening up and Needy kind of appropriately responds
Like
horrified.
This is an issue.
And Jennifer receives that as like on being rejected.
Well said. Flash forward some time. She tells Chip. Chip is like, you're crazy. Chip falls a little short there. And Chip is like, okay, well, can we go to prom together? And she's like, actually don't think that's the most important thing going on. And he's like, but I already bought your corsage. Chip is pissed. He leaves. Prom. Pigtails are not a good, I don't like them. The reason she won't let Chip go to prom with her is because she's like, I'm gonna be super busy making sure that Jennifer isn't just having like a boy buffet. And Chip is like, that seems unreasonable. So he goes to prom alone. Chip is walking to prom. Jennifer approaches in the park. She's wearing a prom/wedding dress. Hello, Chip. I'm pretty worried about Needy. Are you worried about Needy? And he's like, you know, I am. And Jennifer is like, I've always cared so much about you. It was really unmerited that Needy like went and made out with Colin a bunch of times.
She says porking.
Oh. Chip, being stupid, is heartbroken and makes out with Jennifer in the park. Jennifer's like, I have what Needy had. You know where else we could make out? The abandoned pool. Jennifer's like, let's have a little swim. And Chip is like, this is starting to get weird. He didn't figure it out fast enough. So he says, I can't do this. And she shoves him in the water. Splash. Needy at the prom is like, where are Jennifer and Chip? And then she figures it out. Run, run, run to the park. Why do they need an abandoned pool if they have a beautiful abandoned lake? Jennifer, she's got Chip up against the wall of the pool. And Chip is like bleeding out a little bit. You bitch! And Jennifer is like, she jumps in the pool. She throws her around. They're throwing each other around the pool. She's defending Chip. Then they all get out of the pool somehow. Chip takes something long and sharp, like a random
pool skimmer.
You need a lot of force. He's bleeding out and you need a lot of force to put that through
She's
someone's body.
squishy.
Okay. Actually, this is kind of a heart-wrenching moment because their like powerful female friendship is falling apart. The movie really plays it up for like bitch revenge, which I also kind of have a problem with. And wrenches the pool thing out of her belly. And Needy lets her go because she's worried about Chip. And Chip is like, with the wisdom unknown to any teenager ever, I'm going now. It's fine.
You panicked?
Just let me walk away. And then she's pissed. So then she puts on like some combat boots and cargo pants that we've never seen before and like a hoodie. Remember that first scene at the beginning of the movie where we're like, thighs, Needy's in the window, it's scary. But Jennifer's looking at her yearbook being like, this guy was salty, this guy is crossed out. Needy comes in through the window, they fight on the bed, Needy has a box cutter. You know what this is for? Cutting boxes! I think there was a double entendre there, but like, it's a reach. Cross you out, Jennifer, and slices her belly in an X. And Jennifer's like, well, you know what I can do, and then levitates them both off the four-poster bed. Needy reaches out, grabs her BFF necklace that they've had for F, throws it on the ground. They fall to the bed, and Needy stabs her in the heart. Jennifer's mom comes in and is like, Jennifer, are you okay? Finds Needy straddling Jennifer, and it's truly devastating. Wow, they go for it with this
Yeah,
one.
they really did. A young high school girl got murdered. It's mourning the death that happened a couple months ago when these assholes killed her.
So Needy goes to the psychiatric hospital. Needy's in the solitary cell, and she's like, you know, sometimes when a demon bites you, you get some of their abilities. And then you see her float, float, float up in the solitary cell. Whoa. Kicks out the window. Stride, 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 purposefully. Trickle, trickle, trickle. She reaches a creek. In the creek, she finds the knife. She hitchhikes, gets in the car of some creepy guy. He's like, where are you going? West. East.
West.
Low Shoulder comes on the radio. She's like, I'm actually going to hear this band. It's going to be their last show. Oh, shit! Low Shoulder with their little shitty handheld camcorder. They've sold their souls to be successful, so they're like rolling in cigarettes and champagne and M&Ms. They like hear a knock on their hotel room door. Stab, stab, stab! Blood on the walls! Everyone dies! Body bag, body bag. They're all in body bags.
And there's no grief for them.
The last shot is the security camera. Needy leaving on the security camera. She's both used as object, but then reclaims her power through murder.
They also did a really good job of kind of illustrating the cyclical nature of abuse. She does a similar pattern to a lot of these young men who are innocent.
Themes of the movie: short-sleeved hoodies, blood, bodies of water, high school, whitewashing. Is there a single person of color in this movie?
Nope.
But we should acknowledge it. Whitewashing. Every character was white. Thank you for watching. Bye!
Wow.